Boys, I feel like we need to talk about something regarding UFC 300. So, Dana White just announced Kayla Harrison versus Holly Holm. I'm a fan of Holly Holm. However, this is a women's fight, and this is pretty much presumed to be whatever Dana White's big fight that landed on his lap that he announced a while ago is. And I'll be honest, this is probably the worst case scenario for the fight that landed on his lap because I don't think anyone wanted a women's fight to be this fight, let alone someone like Kayla Harrison. I've never watched her fight or anything, but this is basically the big fight is a PFL fighter moves to the UFC and it's a woman. So not looking good. Um I think the main issue with this is that there was so much potential for like other shit. So it could have been, Conor McGregor, Chandler, it could have been literally anything. Um there was like rumors with Khabib and stuff like that. I don't think that was even remotely possible. But even the idea that like, oh, it could have been something big, and if he waited maybe the last week to announce it, this fight should have been something where it's like, uh, oh, there's the BMF title fight, and then there's this. You know what I mean? Like this is not something people are gonna be like, yeah, Um, but yeah, this is trash. Most disappointing thing I've ever seen. I hope Dana White gets oiled up for this. Um, but thank fuck the card's actually saved because we have, and actually it's looking really nice. UFC 300. Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway, I think, was by far the best thing they've ever announced for this card. It actually saved the whole card for a title fight because Kayla Harrison and honestly, like this Wei Li Zhang is probably on the same tier of like who the fuck cares, Like sure, cool, it's an exciting women's fight, but at the end of the day, let's be honest, it's a women's fight. No one really cares that much. Yuri Prohaska, Alexander Rakic, that fight's looking great. Calvin Kattar, Aljo looking really good. This shouldn't exist. We really need to talk about why Bo Nickel is being such a pussy and he's fighting cans. Like he's 5-0 and they're five cans, and now he's about to be 6-0 against another can. If Cody Brundage wins that fight, I will actually eat my own chair. Um, Charles Oliveira, Armin Sarukian is also very, very fucking good. Ficky Cody is like really fun. Bobby Green, Jim Miller is also really good. Literally, if it wasn't for, what is this? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. If it wasn't for these seven fights, this card would be dead in the water. And what I basically mean by that is that like these seven fights in a combo, like you can't just announce Calvin Aljo and that be like, something holy shit fans are excited for. You know what I mean? I do know the UFC card before this, 299, is actually also stacked as fuck. I've heard like MMA Guru, a bunch of other guys say they want fights from this to be carried over. I don't think so. I think this year's just gonna be a stacked year. I think it's really good that UFC 300 is the way it is right now because if it was missing any one of these fights, and I think the card is like pretty terrible, So I pray that no one gets fucking um like injured or anything like that. Like I'm hoping Charles makes it, and I think what makes this card so special so far is that all of these fights are question marks. This isn't a situation where it's like this fighter 100% wins against this fighter. Like a good example is that I mean, some people think Cheeto Vera is going to beat O'Malley, but let's be honest, like O'Malley's probably going to dominate Cheeto Vera, and then we have like Curtis Blades, Jolton Almeida, that fight's pretty 50-50. But Gamrot should smoke RDA, like stuff like that, you know what I mean? Where it's just like these are guaranteed, pretty much guaranteed wins. Where I think what makes this UFC 300 so special is every single one of these fights are a 50-50. None of them are like, oh yeah, Max Holloway's for sure gonna be Gaethje, or Gaethje's for sure gonna be Holloway. You know, I see some people saying that, but I think those people are just fucking retarded. I'll be honest, cause I don't know how you can look at Max Holloway at this point and be like, yeah, he's gonna get knocked out by Gaethje or like doctor stoppage by Gaethje. Like this dude literally only fights the top of the top, and I don't think he's gotten stopped in a very, very, very long time. He also holds the record for it's the strikes, and then I think for never getting knocked down for how many fights he has, which is crazy. Yuri Prohaska, Rakic. Yuri recently came out with this dumb statement saying he had a week of training for Alex Pereira's fight. It was kind of a dumb move. I think he should have kept that to himself. But that still makes him, live because this is Rakic's test, and this is where Yuri Prohaska can prove that he's still game. Calvin Cater, he's a beast at 145, great striker. Going against Aljo, who thought he was a striker's last fight and got put out, and now he has to move up a weight class because he's a weight bully. So this fight is also like another 50-50. Like, I'm not going to say 100% one beats the other. Like, my personal take is that I think Gaethje wins, I think Yuri wins, and I think Calvin wins. But I'm not, like, set in stone, you know what I mean? Like, I could see Aljo winning the fight, I could see Rakic winning the fight, and I could see Max Holloway just point striking with Gaethje, landing a new strike record or something. Even this Bobby Green Jim Miller one, like this one is really interesting for the fans. I mean, it sucks that Paul Felder's not stepping in, but it's what it is. But at the end of the day, yeah, Dana White, I think you're smoking pot if you thought this was like a big fight that people were going to be excited for. Don't get me wrong, I still don't mind Holly Holm as a fighter, and I'm not saying they're bad fighters, right? I don't hate women, but let's be honest, they're women fighters, nothing special. And nobody really cares, especially after the last title fight we just had. This was probably the worst way to really excite the fans. Like, hey guys, remember that dog shit title fight we just watched? Two women sloppily hold in the clinch for fucking forever, where that 15-8 fucking 40-year-old woman smoked a young steroided up Brazilian woman. It's like, okay, and now we're getting this. It's just maybe a number one contender to her women's bantamweight. I don't think it was confirmed, but it's not like she's flawless in her career. She definitely has a loss. I'm little new to this stuff, but it looks like she's lost the belt at that point, or she was about to get the belt and lost. Don't know why she's getting put in the UFC. It is what it is. Thank fuck UFC 300 has fights like Gaethje Holloway. Otherwise, man, oil them up would be a meme going on for honestly this whole year if Dana White kept on producing dog shit like this. But yeah, that's all I got for today.